Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into the third episode of the Leblockcast. We got a couple topics on tape today. Today we're going to be talking about the NHL 22 gameplay trailer, talking about some Yotes and some Flyers action. Going to pick our sleepers for NHL awards, and we're going to have a little city draft, a little fun game near the end of our podcast. But let's just get right into it. Once again, as always, I am joined by my lovely co-host, Riley.
How's it going?
Going good. And we are joined today by our special guest from TikTok and from YouTube, Nordic 97.
Happy to be here.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, but let's get right into it. Let's talk about this NHL 22 gameplay trailer. I want to know, Nordic, what did you think of the trailer?
Well, it's not bad. I mean, like, there's problems that EA had, and I think with 22 adding the frostbite, it's frostbite, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, they had that in Madden, if I'm not mistaken. I don't play Madden.
They do. They do in FIFA.
Yeah. So it looks good. It looks good. It's just like, I don't really know. I like it, but like to a degree, I don't. Like when the graphics, just in like the pics that we saw, they kind of look like their old graphics.
They look like NHL 07, 06 graphics. When I saw the picture there.
Yeah. And, you know,
but like it feels very like Madden-like.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the X Factors, they got that in Madden. Like that's like their staple feature.
Yeah, but I do look at what they're trying to do with Madden. They made it their biggest selling point was we want to make the stars feel like stars, differentiate them from every other player on the field or ice. So I understand what they're doing there, and I think that's pretty good. But
yeah, I think it's a good idea to make that a thing. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. You know, the way Vasilevsky makes some saves, like, you know, they have.
Vasilevsky is the second best goalie in the NHL. Connor Hellebuyck's number one, but Vasilevsky has made some incredible saves.
Here we go.
And I think if there's this ability system, it works in Madden because Madden stop-start. So a player's ability is only active for a shorter duration where it's easier to stop.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't work out, they're going to be hit with a lot of criticism, and it could be a one-year thing. So EA is under a ton of pressure to nail this, because if they don't, then they're hooped.
Yeah, I agree.
If EA doesn't get this right, once again, we've had fans complaining about NHL at least since NHL 15. They've been complaining about, we want a better quality game. And if they don't get this right, I honestly think the NHL could go in a different direction that Madden has gone into by, giving the rights to somebody else.
Yeah, and I feel like, and I know you guys talked about this on your one podcast because I listened to it, obviously. I feel like it would be good to give it to someone for at least 1 year, see what they can do, and maybe that'll wake EA up, and they'll be like, oh, we have competition, and then maybe they'll actually start putting in more effort into making a good game.
Look, if you want best results, competition is the best way to go. Mm-hmm. Like in all aspects of sports. If a player isn't performing, you bring in somebody else to compete with him, compete for his job. That player who wasn't performing will perform, or he'll crumble under pressure. And I think with 2K, or I don't know really any other developers, but I think if 2K were to go back to the roots, I think they probably could take the NHL by storm and expand on that and do a better job than EA does.
Yeah, you look at
EA's lazy.
Yeah, you look at NBA, like NBA 2K, it's miles ahead of NHL.
Oh man, it is so
I
good.
know. I don't even play NBA, but like I've watched people play it. Like it is much better than how the NHL.
More interactive modes, like the graphics are like pristine, and like it feels like an overall like better game. There's more to do like in their franchise mode. There's more to do in the franchise mode than you could ever do in NHL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's that. I like the way though. I do like the Frostbite engine coming in due to like you get the eye movement there, you get the new stick movements there, you got a new engine coming in, but it could mean new glitches though.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna see glitches.
Well, like any engine, you're gonna get glitches though. So I'm not really too mad about that. I just want them to make Chuck not look like he has his eyes closed the entire time he's on the ice.
One
Yeah.
thing I didn't notice is that they said like the jerseys and the cloth are going to look better. And when you play NHL 21 right now and you look at the Adidas jerseys versus the Reebok jerseys, the only difference you notice is like the collar. I think with the new engine, what they said, they're actually going to notice the difference between the two, and it's just going to look, the finer details are going to be so good, and that's what I look forward to.
Yeah, all about the details.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. I think I'm still gonna get the game, but I'm not gonna get it like right away. I always wait till there's a sale. I'm a cheap person, so I always
wait till it comes out on Game Pass if you're on Xbox.
I'll probably end up getting it right away. I mean, I have money, so
yeah. If I have the money, I'll consider it, but we'll see.
Nordic just casually flexing there. I have money.
We struggle
Don't
out
flex too hard there.
Right. Well, Nordic, you're actually our first like American guest to be on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Everyone's been Canadian?
Yeah, we've had all Canadians on here. We had Braden, we had Zach. Zach's from Windsor, Braden's from Ontario. And yeah, you're the only two guests we've actually had. I think about it. I thought we've had a lot more.
Well, I mean, you're very early into the podcast, so you'll obviously have guests on from America, Canada, maybe even other countries.
Yeah.
Well, you should hold this title with pride, my friend.
I'll put up a banner in my room. First American on
Pull
the
Nashville.
podcast.
Pull Nashville Predators. Put a banner for everything.
We'll hang it up somewhere. Yeah.
Banner ceremony on TikTok.
Yeah. So you're from Pennsylvania. So why don't we talk about what your Flyers did this offseason?
Yeah. Well, they traded for Ryan Ellis. They traded Philip Myers and Nolan Patrick to the Nashville Predators for a D-man and Ryan Ellis. And to be honest, I'm going to miss Philip Myers. I'm not going to miss Patrick. I'll probably sell the jersey I have of him. But no, I won't. But I think Ellis is a great addition. The defense was a huge problem. And then they traded for Ristolainen. And I was like, okay, Ristolainen's not terrible. He's been just god awful in Buffalo, but then again, it's Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And then the return was a first round pick. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, I've seen so many reports that like, oh, Ristolainen is not worth more than a second or a third.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, so maybe we can get him. That's not that bad. And then we traded a first for him. I'm like, Chuck. And then as well as that, they obviously traded Jacob Voracek out for Cam Atkinson. And I've spoke vocally so many times saying that, well, if Cam Atkinson can find a scoring touch, we're set. And, Voracek obviously needed to get out of Philly because he sucked. Well, not sucked, but like
it wasn't working out.
Yeah,
it really wasn't.
There's like a bad vibe around Voracek, especially like it was the media in Philadelphia. You could tell.
I remember at the beginning of the season, it was like after game 2 against Pittsburgh, this reporter, I forget his name, who would always criticize him, said something to him, and he's like, and Voracek, I think, said straight up, "Stop being a goddamn weasel," or something along those lines.
Yep.
Very savage with the media this year. Like
the media.
These guys are just doing their job, my guy. Like they're trying.
Yeah, but going back to the Ristolainen trade, like I think Buffalo drove a hard bargain for all of their players. Like you saw what Florida had to give up to get Reinhart. They had to give up like a first and their second best goalie prospects in Devin Levi.
Yeah.
Who played great for Canada at the World Juniors. They also gave up, they gave up someone. It wasn't Hepo Niemi. They gave up somebody else. They gave up one of their good prospects. I forget his name, but.
Oh, they gave him off. They traded Strawman to Arizona. That's what Florida did. And they traded like another prospect with him. You talking about that guy?
Yeah, it might be that guy, but I'm pretty sure some other prospect went to Buffalo. I can look it up, but
real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. I think that's all the trades. All trades, Ristolainen, Atkinson. Yeah, I think that's all the trades. Well, there was a Gostisbehere one too. Ghost, of course, he's on my Coyotes now, but he had to get out of there. It just fell apart since Hackstall left. And then you move on to the signings. I'll bring up the most recent one. They signed Derek Brassard yesterday, and I was like, can't escape this man. But I think like it's not bad depth, I guess. I mean, like he's played on like every team. But signing Martin Jones as a backup goalie for Hart, that was something we needed.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we handled that. You probably could have gotten someone better. Like I wanted James Reimer or Block, but of course, they also signed Keith Yandel. And one thing I've noticed, they traded for Atkinson, they signed Yandel, and they also signed Brassard too.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get everyone that Cam Atkinson's friends with. Or not Cam Atkinson, Kevin Hayes. That Kevin Hayes is friends with, so they can make Hayes good again.
Yeah.
And another person. They signed one more guy. I forget who it was. And then they also re-signed Sean Couturier today. And I like that contract.
Yeah, I like the contract until he's 38 though, which you hope he has that longevity though. So it's a good contract for now, but in like 4 years we may say, oh, that contract, if Couturier maybe regresses, we'll say, oh, maybe that contract wasn't so what it was up to be. So I think it's a risk, but I like Couturier. I think he brings what you want on your team, like a two-way guy, and I think if he can have that longevity, it's a steal.
Yeah, I like that Couturier signing. Like he's a great player, and like you said, it's going to hurt in the back end, but that's with almost every 8-year or long-term deal, right? Especially when the player's on their second contract. So I think Philly had a pretty good offseason.
One guy I forgot was they also signed Nate Thompson from Winnipeg.
Jets legend.
I've seen him play on Philly before. He got traded to Montreal last in the 2020 deadline. But I mean, since you're a Jets fan, what are your thoughts on how did Thompson play in Winnipeg? Like, what did you think?
Fourth line, grit player, good penalty killer. He's a fourth liner. He is, especially at his age, but he won't hurt you defensively or anything like that. But don't expect him to score a lot either. Don't expect a lot from him. Just expect to do all the right things of little things.
Yeah, we need guys like that, most definitely.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they also signed Carter Hart to what I think is going to be a steal of a contract after next season. 3 years, 3.979 steal. That is
you look at Hart and the upside he has, he's going to bounce back. And he also, not trying to take a shot at you, but he had a pretty bad decor last year.
Oh, and I agree.
For a young goaltender, you need to surround him with a good defense because that will help build his confidence and just help him grow.
Yeah.
So, and in 3 years, you should get an idea of where he's at. And also because of how cheap it is, you should be able to, keep that decor and just build a good team in front of him. Good signing, good contract, low risk.
I think that was Philly's mindset going into the offseason, saying, you know what, the decor wasn't cutting it last year, and we need to get this young goaltender like some help.
Yeah.
It was Niskanen. Niskanen is what broke our team.
Yeah.
Niskanen held that whole defense together. He held Provorov together, in fact, and everyone just fell. And then the last thing they did was they re-signed Travis Sanheim to a 2-year, $4.675. I think because they obviously had arbitration. I feel like the $4 million is a little bit too much, but it's not a bad contract. Thank you, Seth Jones. But I think overall it's been a good offseason. I'm optimistic, but I mean, hey, it's every other year that we make the playoffs, and this is the year that we're supposed to make it. So I won't complain.
I think Philly's like my bounce back team next year. I think they get either the 3 spot in the Metro or they get a wild card.
Yeah.
But they're going to make playoffs.
People, so keep ranking them low. That's what happened last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's an even year. Flyers make playoffs in even years. Yeah, but like I think the Flyers are going to be a decent team next year, and I think moves they may have overpaid for Ristolainen, but at least you didn't overpay for Seth Jones.
Oh,
looking at you, Stan Bowman. Looking at you, Stan.
Yeah. I've had so many conversations with so many different people about that trade. And some people have told me, that's a good trade. What do you mean? I'm like, you're kidding, right? Like, Chicago's like, oh, yeah, we're going to rebuild. And then they just trade away their whole future.
Like a year after that statement, oh, yeah, let's give up 2 firsts for Seth Jones. First of all, next year's draft is loaded.
Yeah, that's why the Coyotes have 2 picks. Yeah. And they're going to get more, probably. Probably,
yeah. Like, I just think it's a stupid move to give up. You're still a young team. Why are you giving up assets for a guy who has been proven to be almost a liability on his own team?
Mm-hmm.
He can log those big minutes though, and that's one of the upsides is, if you need a defenseman to play like 20 plus minutes a game, 25, he can and do
I
it
guess that's
somewhat
true.
well. He can log
Yeah.
those big minutes, which, it's good. But as a Jets fan in the Central, I'm laughing at Chicago, you know. But yeah, the Seth Jones is a good defenseman. He's not worth that much. He's especially not worth that much in a trade assets given up. But I don't know. It's pretty good. It's good for Chicago because they needed a defenseman, especially when they shipped Keith out. But they overpaid a lot.
If Fleury doesn't fall off, then I think Chicago could be a pretty good team.
I have so many things to talk about Chicago, but I don't want to go off track. So.
But I think I'll just say this right now. I think Chicago misses the playoffs still.
I still think that people were saying like, oh, they're gonna finish third. I even had some people on my TikTok saying they were gonna finish first.
I had them finishing.
You gotta be kidding me.
I got them fifth or fourth in the Central.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The highest, they're not better than Minnesota. They're not better than Winnipeg. They're definitely not better than Colorado. They're getting that fourth spot.
I don't think they're better than Minnesota. Even Dallas. I don't think they're better than Dallas either.
Yeah, Dallas. Yeah. I think Dallas is going to be a team that shocks people.
Yeah. Anyway, getting back to the Flyers, what would you say is like your sleeper for this year for them?
My sleeper. You asked me this question yesterday.
I did.
I was like,
No, I asked you the breakout candidate, and I end up saying Rich Delaney because a change of scenery. People seem to forget, he was shit at Buffalo. Yeah, but a change of scenery for players skyrockets them. You look at example, is a pretty bad example, but like Martin St. Louis, when he was in Calgary, he was god awful. He was maybe the worst player on the ice. You bring him to a new environment in Tampa, and he becomes an all-star. But I know
Sam Bennett too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a far-fetched example, but like still.
Yeah. Ironically, both are from Calgary. Yeah. But anyways, my sleeper, to be honest, everyone's going to be paying attention to Couturier, maybe Giroux. I mean, Giroux's I would be heartbroken if he left, but like he's not the same that he used to be. But I feel like the sleeper, and everyone's going to sleep on him, Joel Farabee. I remember when he got drafted, I said this kid's going to become something, and he was our best player last season.
Yeah, I really like Farabee. Yeah.
Yeah,
he will be our sleeper. But there's a couple other guys in that roster. I think Konechny will be underratedly good.
I like Konechny.
Might get better. Yeah.
Former 67.
Mm-hmm. But I probably would go with Joel Farabee as my most likely.
I remember when we took Colin White over Konechny, and I was so pissed. I really wanted Travis Konechny. I'm like, bring him home.
I mean, it's early in his career. You never know what's going to happen. I had no idea that Derek Brassard would become a Flyer, so never know.
No, Derek. How would we take Provorov back to Manitoba? Hey, he played for the Brandon Wheat Kings. Let's take him back. I'll gladly take Provi.
I would like to keep Provorov. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, this is awkward.
All right. Anyways, it would be Farabee is my answer.
Yeah, well, let's move on to the Yotes. I think what the Yotes did this offseason was amazing. They like you told me this multiple times. They finally got management to commit.
I finally have faith in the management. Finally, and with Chayka, the thing is with me, he was trying to make the team better now. When I was saying for a while, I was like, we just need to tear it all down. We just need to rebuild. Sure, we have some good pieces, but generally the whole team this is not a playoff team. Yeah. And we made it that 1 year. We made it the 1 year that ironically Chayka just left the team. He was gone. And then he just dipped. But then Armstrong came in and I was like, okay, so he helped build the St. Louis Blues, if I'm not mistaken, their 2019 Cup team. Yeah. I'm like, all right, so maybe if he knows what he's doing, he can develop. And for a little bit there, I didn't really have faith in him because the Connor Garland thing, when they were saying that they weren't accepting his calls, they weren't listening to him with his AAV and stuff, I was so mad. And now I realize that Connor Garland wouldn't have fit the timeline for us, but he would have stayed there the whole rebuild. He said that himself after the day he got traded, which by the way, oh my God. he said I would have been there for the whole rebuild. They just didn't want me.
That quote stings. Yeah,
it does. But
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we got Dylan Gunther out of it. We also got the GOAT Louis Eriksson out of it. So
empty net specialist.
And we got the OEL contract out of Arizona.
Yeah.
And then, we made other deals. We dealt away Aiden Hill, which, sucked, but we had to do that for expansion. The Strong was pretty good. Acquiring Gostisbehere. I've spoke a lot about how Gostisbehere, if he goes to a new destination, that could benefit them. Or him, not them. And he finally got that. And plus, we have picks for, years. Legitimately. Next year, we have so many.
I think you guys have 9 next year. You have 9 or 10 next year.
I think we have 11 maybe.
11,
and I know we're going to have more. But I think some of those seconds that we have, they're going to transfer into first-round picks.
You hear that, Pierre? Take your seconds, turn them into players.
Exactly. I know you've told me that Dvorak isn't worth a first, but I think besides Chikrin, Dvorak's our best player. So I think we're going to get something at least pretty good back for him. And, Dvorak strikes me as that type of guy. And when the trade deadline happens next year, I'm going to look back on this podcast. I'm going to send this clip to James and be like, I was right. Dvorak strikes me as the type of guy that's going to get dealt at the deadline.
Yes.
He strikes me as a Palmieri type. He's going to get dealt somewhere for a first-round pick.
I think Arizona's going to do what Buffalo did. They're going to, it's like, if your offer's not good enough, then we're not going to take it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think they're going to roll with.
I mean, that works sometimes, and it doesn't work out other times. Example, Matt Duchene. They said, we're not taking anything over this price. And Ottawa and Nashville caved. But then you have Jack Eichel, where they're like, we're not going to take anything lower than this. And they're going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this Arizona team, though, I got to say, though, they're acquired a lot of there's a lot of veterans on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of young guys. So I think some of these veteran guys are going to have great seasons, even though Arizona might not be the greatest team next year.
Yeah. Ericsson's going to get 70 points, 30 goals.
I have a feeling we're going to see the resurgence of Andrew Ladd.
Oh, my. I forgot about that trade.
Yeah.
The Andrew Ladd trade. We got so many picks from that. I was like, oh, my God, we have picks all of a sudden. We had – I remember, I was camping. And I remember, that was the day that Hill got traded, Ellis got traded, everything happened that day.
That was a crazy day, yeah.
Yeah, that was – I wish I was home for that day. But
you guys also got Kemper or you sent Kemper away and you got a first from that.
I can't remember the trades.
Yeah, I was waiting for him. Is he going to say it? No, but Kemper move
Kemper trade.
Genius. That was genius.
Genius. Bill
took
Armstrong.
Advantage of a desperate Colorado team.
When I found out that Colorado lost Grubauer to Seattle, I think I posted on my story. I said, I'll take a first for Kemper, Colorado. Thanks. And that's literally what happened. I knew it. I knew they were going to do that because he's the only guy that was on the market who is really a caliber starter.
Yeah.
And as much as it pains me to say that, because Kemper gave me my first glance of Coyotes playoff hockey, even though it lasted 5 games against, ironically, the Avalanche. We needed that. We need it. And Connor Timmins, for a young guy coming in, he didn't really have a spot in Colorado to play. So I think he's obviously going to have that in Arizona. And, I think he's going to develop pretty well. So I think we've done a lot and a lot of good things.
Yeah,
you guys are doing everything right. Now, can we just trade histories real quick? You take the Thrashers history, we'll take the Jets history. Can we do that 1 for 1?
You might have to throw in a second there.
Well, we don't have those. Thanks, Brendan Dillon. How about Columbus's third?
Maybe. I'll
and
get back on that.
A ham sandwich.
Yeah,
a ham sandwich. I am kind of hungry, so I might.
There you go.
but the Kemper to Colorado might have been the worst kept secret in hockey when they lost Grubauer. We know right off the bat, oh, they lost Grubauer. Oh, Kemper's gone. I think everyone that was on everybody's mind, oh, who we got to get? I'm oh, well, we get Kemper. There you go.
I knew Kemper was gone before that.
Yeah,
because they were talking about it.
My brother's an LA Kings fan, so when the day they traded Kemper for Toby Reeder, I think that's the most mad I've seen him as a Kings fan.
That was
Wow.
It was around. That was around the time when I first became a fan of hockey. I remember seeing that trade, and I was like, "Oh, Toby Reeder for Kemper." I'm like, "Okay, this Kemper guy looks okay." And I was like, "This Reeder guy doesn't have good stats, so get fleeced."
You know, Dylan was pissed. I remember Kemper when he first emerged in Minnesota during that playoff run. That's when he first like came onto the scene. I remember saying, "Yo, this kid's gonna be great," and I'm surprised Minnesota let him go.
They did have Dubnyk for a long time though.
They did, yeah.
And Dubnyk was pretty good in Minnesota.
Yeah, no, this is the year he was there the year before Dubnyk broke out, though.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So then,
okay,
when Dubnyk broke out, I think they let him go. They let Kemper
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Minnesota has a history of getting rid of goalies.
That is true. Yeah.
True.
When they got rid of who else? No, can't talk about someone right now. Was it Alex Stalock that they put on waivers?
Stalock. They had Backstrom at one point.
I remember Backstrom.
They had someone else.
They had Matt Hackett for a long time. I remember him.
Yeah.
This is way before, because I know before Dubnyk they had like no stability in net.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
it was.
They were going through. They were basically the Philly of goaltenders of the West, kind of. Where they were going through goalies left and right.
My God, we had so many goalies go through our town, and like I was started getting into hockey like 2017, so I didn't even see this stuff before that. But like,
yeah, no, like it was bad. They had a new goal starter like almost every year, like for at least since 2004 to 20. I want to say 2015. They had a new starter every year.
Yep, they had Bobrovsky. I remember that.
Oh my God! Don't remind me.
Yeah, Philly had Bobrovsky.
Yeah, they
Philly.
traded
Philly. Yeah,
they traded Bobrovsky, not in the Voracek trade. That was a whole different trade. They traded Bobrovsky for it wasn't Michael Lynn. Was it Michael Neuber?
I think you got Steve Mason.
Oh yeah, Steve Mason, that guy.
Yeah.
I have a
That's legend.
Inside of there. Oh yeah. Montreal was probably praising you for Joel Armia.
Don't remind me of that.
I mean, you reminded me of Bobrovsky. So inside that closet, I have a mini Steve Mason jersey, and I used to think he was so good, but then I looked at his stats and I was like, nah. He was on and off. He was like Gostisbehere kind of. He was like hot and cold.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, do you expect Arizona to be competitive at all?
I think they're gonna be like Detroit, because Detroit. I mean, that like not 2019-20 Detroit, but like this year Detroit,
where they're still competitive. They're still a bad team, but they're still competitive.
Yes, and
kind of like what Ottawa was the past 2 years.
Like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, while we're talking about goalies, this is something I want to talk with the Avalanche goalies.
Yes, I was going to bring that up next. The Avalanche goalie situation. Both of their goalies are UFAs next year.
Ooh, that is rough.
That's a good point. And I was not thinking about that.
I think they don't have a lot of cap space. They got to because they just re-signed Makar.
They got to sign Mac.
Yeah, they got to sign Mac. They just signed Landeskog, that big deal. I don't think they're going to have the space to keep Kemper.
Which means their window could be closing soon.
Another goalie problem.
Yep. Which is
they'll obviously let go. I'm looking at their UFAs for next season. They'll obviously let go of Ryan Murray. Sherwood, if they have to, they'll let go of him. Matteau, they'll let go of. Helm, they'll let go of. They'll probably keep Burakovsky. I don't know what they would do with Kadri.
I think Kadri's gone at the end of the season. I can see him.
What do you mean?
I know Ottawa is in rumors to get Kadri. They might make a training camp trade where they get Kadri as their second line center.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I think that'd be.
Kadri's good for one suspension each playoff year.
Yeah, but we don't make the playoffs.
That's Toronto.
Okay.
There you go.
But yeah,
that's rough for the Avalanche because again, you kind of need goalies to play hockey.
Yeah,
you can't just put McKinnon in goal.
I remember
you can't do everything, guys.
Yeah, I remember early in the season when Colorado was kind of struggling the first 2 weeks of the season. I'm like, you know what you got to do? You got to get on the phone. You got to call Bob Murray. You got to give up Byram and a first and more assets to get John Gibson. You bring in John Gibson to Colorado, you will get that cup.
Yeah. And only problem is though Anaheim does not have a goalie then. Yeah, but then they probably would have picked up
Kolars. Probably give up another goalie to get Gibson as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't know. Colorado has a rough in net. So if they do have a rough offseason, because like I said, you need a goalie to win. You need a goalie to play hockey. And I don't think they've got really that much good goaltending prospects. You guys know more about prospects than me, so correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Colorado
currently
has
looking.
Justice.
They have that Justice.
Yeah, I was gonna say Justice and Noonan. Yeah, he looked
They have
really.
they have Jonas Johansson, who played with Buffalo for a little bit. I like Jonas Johansson, but I don't think he's going to be a starter.
Buffalo did not like Jonas Johansson. They said, "quote He was the worst goalie I've ever seen play hockey for the Buffalo Sabres organization."
Who's in your goalie now, Buffalo? Like,
I mean,
have
all
you
their
seen who
goalies
you currently
suck,
have?
besides that Uka-Pekka guy.
I think they're gonna roll with Ukko Pekka-Lakonen, or they're gonna just get Craig Anderson to take him to victory.
Craig Anderson and Aaron Dell. Aaron Dell is there too. Remember,
Aaron Dell, I think, should be the starter then.
he should be the starter.
Dell should, yeah.
I had so much respect for him in San Jose, and then he left, and I was so sad. But anyways, yeah, they're in a bad spot, and people aren't really talking about it. But it's definitely
because people don't know, and we are letting the people know.
Yeah.
All right, James. So what's the next segment here?
We're gonna go on to our first game.
All right.
Alrighty.
We're all gonna pick our sleepers for the awards.
Sleepers for the awards.
So
All right.
we're gonna start off with not a player. We're gonna start off with the Jack Adams.
For coaches.
Adam?
Okay.
Coaches.
Oh.
Let me just look at the teams here
Yeah.
and just start to think here. Dave Haxtell. Just kidding.
Paul Maurice, if he changes his power play and everything about his team.
You mean if he gets fired?
Maurice could be interesting. Maybe.
He's got a good defensive core now, so we'll see. But I'm trying to avoid bias there, so I could see Colorado. If they go back to the President's Trophy, I could see them. They have the team to go back there, but like we said, they're pretty good. Or Tampa or Florida.
With John Cooper, that team, I don't think John Cooper would be considered for the Jack Adams.
I don't think Cooper wins it again. They can very well win a third Stanley Cup. I'm not denying that, but it's hella harder. And
I could see Florida's coach. Sorry to interrupt.
Joel Quenneville, I can see for sure.
Historic head coach, Hall of Famer.
Rick Bowness for the Stars, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't like the Stars, but
if Seattle makes the playoffs, though, Dave Haxtell.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
If they do what Vegas did, definitely Dave Haxtell.
Yeah,
that would make me so mad though, because he's like,
or Gerard Gallant.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Gallant's an option. Who's the Devils coach? Because if the Devils do well out of the gate,
Lindy Ruff.
Yeah,
Lindy Ruff.
Yeah.
Could also see if they make playoffs, Ottawa, DJ Smith. If they make playoffs, though, it's the only reason he would be considered for it.
Yeah. There's a lot of these are just like teams that are almost there yet. If they make the playoffs, there's a possibility of them winning it. We just don't know yet.
So pretty much the entire Eastern Conference.
Yeah. So
every coach besides
the East
two
is
have a
stacked.
Yeah. So my pick for my sleeper is going to be Gerard Gallant. I think new coach, new system. Gallant's system benefits young players, so I think they'll get it done. I think he gets the Jack Adams.
Where did Gallant go again?
Rangers.
Oh yeah. I like that pick.
I'm gonna pick.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Who's Calgary's coach? Why can't I think? Isn't it Geoffroy got fired? It's Daryl Sutter, right?
Yeah,
Daryl Sutter.
I think, and like this is something that people have disagreed with me, and this is probably like my hottest take heading into this. I think Calgary makes the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, I think it's going to be Sutter as a sleeper. But I would also argue, what's his name? Lindy Ruff, as well as Bowness for the Stars.
Yeah. Okay.
See, my issue with Calgary is Daryl Sutter, again, Red Deer legend, shout out. His system is very defensive heavy and just low scoring games. You know, look at how he won the cup with the Kings, right? And I just don't think that will work, especially when they lost their best D man in Giordano. So I don't know about Sutter, but all the other picks, those are really good.
Yeah, Calgary fans would argue that Tanev was better than Giordano.
Yeah, they will, but I think Giordano was a better one.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next award, the Calder.
Okay.
Now, once again, I want to tell everyone what a sleeper is. Montreal fans, a sleeper is someone who's not expected to win.
Cole Caulfield.
Yeah.
That's what Jordan would say.
Yeah. No, Cosmo's not a sleeper. He's the bona fide probably favorite to win that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I did a preview on them today. I'm gonna say Nicholas Robertson for Toronto. That could be an interesting guy if he gets time.
If he gets time and if he doesn't get injured.
Who's another rookie?
I was gonna say Podkolzin from Vancouver.
Oh yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, Podkolzin.
That's true. No, not enough people are talking about him.
Now,
No.
if he gets the top 6 role of Nashville, Philip Tomasino.
Oh, that's also a good one.
That's a big sleeper.
Yeah, Tomasino.
Big sleeper.
I know Sider's considered one of the favorites as well. I would take him because I know people honestly say, "Oh, Sider, who's this kid?" This kid is a monster.
Yeah, he's a level above everyone else.
Yeah, people don't understand how good he is.
Yeah,
Do you guys know if Anton Lundell is going to be playing this season?
I don't. I think he's in the AHL this year. I'm not too sure. Though.
Okay,
but if he does get time, I could see that happening. Lundell's a nasty as well.
Yeah. So much rookies and young players in the Central. Another sleeper could be Marco Rossi.
Yeah,
if he makes it. I know he had a rough battle, with COVID.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot about that.
He may win it, but because he has a talent too. But like I said, he had a rough battle with it, and so it's gonna be hard for him.
So for Calder, my sleeper, honestly, and my pick is probably gonna be Spencer Knight.
That's
he's eligible.
Yeah,
he's eligible.
He is a goalie,
and I think he'll be the starter by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking through teams and thinking of players. Is Connor McMichael gonna play this season?
Yes, that's what Braden says anyway.
Okay, I think McMichael could be a guy, but I'm gonna go with Robertson, most definitely.
Riley, what's your pick?
Podkolzin.
All right.
Yeah, Podkolzin's my second.
All right. Next, we're gonna go to the Norris. I'm gonna let you guys start off because I can't think of it.
Chikrin.
Pionk.
Zoob.
Ooh. I think he may get more recognition this season.
The thing is here, the Norris, the way they do it every year changes because remember when Carlson was at the Sens, it's like, oh, Carlson scores goals. That's not what a Norris defenseman does, and they gave it to Doughty. And then the year Carlson was they're like, oh, you got to score goals to get the Norris, and then they gave it to Brett Burns.
Yeah, I died.
I'll always say Carlson was robbed of 2 Norrises. One they gave to Doughty, which they shouldn't have, and one they gave to Brett Burns in 2017.
Yeah, they need to make an offensive defenseman award.
Yeah, I was
something similar.
I was saying this earlier this year. They need an offensive defenseman and a Norris trophy.
Yeah, something maybe Paul Coffey award because Coffey is one of the best offensive defensemen of all time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Coffey award.
Yeah, and because there's so many different types of defensemen, like James was just saying. So in terms of pure offense, I think I'm gonna go with Hedman.
Yeah, I know he's a safe bet. I know he's a favorite, but my sleeper, honestly, I don't think he gets enough recognition. Is Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah,
McAvoy's a stud. I like McAvoy.
I know McAvoy's actually one of the favorites for next year, though. So I honestly think he should have won it over Fox this year. Fox was great, but I think McAvoy was just a step above.
He should have at least gotten a finalist.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I mean, Hedman was injured, sure, but he has a whole team.
Mm-hmm.
I think guys like Sergachev. I mean, Sergachev gets some recognition, but I think a guy like Jan Ruda, he's very underrated.
Yeah, Ruda's very underrated.
From watching the playoffs, I know that he is just if you're a casual fan, you do not know who he is. I didn't even know who he was for a while. He is pretty underrated.
Or Pellick's a good pick.
Pellick too. Yeah, but I know Islanders fans are probably screaming that.
Oh, no. Yeah, I had Islanders fans tell me that Pellick was a top 5 defenseman. I wanted to slap them through my screen.
I can hear them outside my window chanting that.
I don't really think they're top. I don't even really think he was top 10. Maybe.
I think he's top 15. Top 15, top 20.
Oh, top 15 was definitely, but I don't think he's top 10.
I'm gonna sound biased here, but Shabbat, maybe. As a sleeper, maybe.
I think that's possible. And if
possible.
We're gonna be biased, I'm gonna go with Provorov. Well, not as my pick, but Provorov's a definite guy if he bounces back.
We're ignoring the best defenseman of the two listed.
Yeah,
Neil Pionk.
Dustin Pionk.
The hell, man. Look, I understand the Bobrovsky hurt, but come on, man. There's a line.
I'm looking at the D here. Vegas. Theodore, I guess. He could be
Theodore.
a sleeper.
Yeah. If Petrangelo bounces back, you can say Petrangelo.
People
If Hughes figures out how to play defense, Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, but if they decided it's an offense year, they'll give it to Hughes because of his offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what contract. We'll see what contract Hughes gets.
I know. My final pick for the North is McAvoy. That's my final pick for sleeper and for my favorite. I'm gonna just mix them up because this is my show.
I'm gonna go with. I might go with McAvoy as well. To be honest, he's probably one of the biggest guys. But I would say Chikrin, but we're gonna be terrible this year. So like.
Okay, there's a defenseman you guys are completely forgetting about. Aaron Ekblad.
Ooh. Yeah, Ekblad. You're right.
Or Uyghur. Mackenzie Uyghur.
Or Uyghur.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Those are two.
Uyghur. I forgot about Uyghur.
Those are. I think Ekblad can win the Norris. He was having a really good year, and I think Uyghur is a sleeper to win it. I think Florida's got two great defensemen there.
You can argue that before Ekblad's injury, he was considered one of the finalists for the Norris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's growing, and he's a good player. Great.
All right,
I'm gonna say this.
All right, go.
One of my friends is a lot of my friends are Canes fans, so I'm gonna say Slavin's probably a sleeper.
Slavin in the number one role, you could definitely get consideration for the Norris. I am not gonna argue that.
Yeah. I agree.
Pretty underrated.
Right. We're gonna go to our next award. We only got a few left. The Selke.
Best defensive forward. Okay. Well, this is Patrice's Bergeron. This is Bergeron's award to lose because he seems to have it locked almost every year,
I know.
or at least be a finalist.
I know wingers don't win. Wingers have not won the award since 2003. But I'm going to say Andrew Mangiapane.
Oh, I love Mangiapane. Favorite player on the Flames.
Yeah, that's like I think if a winger will win it, it will be him.
Probably, yeah.
Or Mark Stone. Though I don't see Mark Stone's. I know Mark Stone gets a lot of takeaways. So
Mark Stone's not really a sleeper.
Yeah. So I'd say Mangiapane.
Sleeper, maybe Jonathan Taves. He's pretty good defensively, and he's going to be coming back this year, which I like Taves. I think he could win it. Yeah, it's to see how he does. If he returns to his form, he could be a finalist.
Off the ice, like not practicing off the ice affects you.
I feel really bad for him, though, honestly.
Yeah.
It does. I think Taves, when he's healthy, is a top player. Or can be. Was a, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so I think he's a sleeper, but I do like Mangiapane. I like that pick a lot. That's it. Yeah.
All right, Nordic, your pick because we just gotta hurry this up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Coots.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with that. All right, now the last one we're gonna do today. And this year, MVP.
This award, I hate this award.
Why? Because no one from Winnipeg gets nominated?
No, I hate it because okay, well, first off, that was a low blow. No, I hate it because if you go by most valuable, a goalie is arguably most valuable to his team.
Yes.
You know, when you think about it. But so if we're going off of that, then a goalie should win it. Yeah. But it's always forward to win it, which is
goalies, we forgot the Vezina. I'll put that in at the end.
Well, you can skip over me on that segment because you know who I'm picking for the Vezina.
So, but MVP, like honestly, Pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this year though, or last year, Pasta was not as
not as dominant. But I think when you bring him back to like an 82 game season, back to form, I think he can.
Oh yeah.
Like
we also got to acknowledge with some of these guys who had down seasons, like the schedule was just hell.
Compact. Like it was like
yeah. So I don't put it on some of the guys who had down years. Some of them I do, some of them I don't, but we got to take into consideration with that.
Yeah, like Quinn Hughes is going to bounce back, for example. Like, I remember, they had like one day off, like every day, the last part of the season.
Oh, yeah, especially Vancouver.
They had back-to-backs out the wazoo. Like, I mean,
here's a bomb.
All right.
Huberdeau.
Damn.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. Huberdeau, I think he's been growing. His career has just exploded in the past year or two, and I think he's my pick to win.
Panarin.
I love Huberdeau.
Panarin, he's a sleeper.
All right. Nordic, what's your pick for MVP again?
Oh, Panarin.
Panarin? Yeah. Okay, I can see that. All right. Moving on to our last award, Vezina. Riley, you don't have to participate because I know what your answer is going to be.
What? I was going to say Eric Comrie.
Mm-hmm.
Go, legend. Lauren
Red Wings.
Bressel, I have winning it.
No, but this is your sleeper. Your sleeper.
He is a sleeper.
Honestly, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. Thatcher Demko.
Yes. That was a guy
Demko.
that I forgot from my top 10 goalies, which caused a lot of criticism.
Yeah. The thing is here, Demko, early season, didn't look great at all.
Yeah.
And then
did not
second
look
half,
good. That's why I didn't
Demko.
put him in.
Yeah, second half, Demko lit up the world, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to take Demko as my sleeper.
I'm just thinking of every
Riley,
goalie
how
right
about
now.
not a sleeper?
Damn it.
I'm going to put Kemper. I mean, like, to be honest, on that Colorado team, he could look pretty good.
Yeah, behind that D, yeah, I would say so.
And even in Arizona, he was shut down. And Arizona's D was just hot garbage, besides Chickern.
Riley, your last pick. Then we're going to go to our last segment of the day.
People tend to forget how good John Gibson actually is.
Yes, John Gibson.
And for that, he's my sleeper because he can win a ton of games for Anaheim himself. He's a really good goalie.
You know another one? Linus
Who?
Ullmark.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah. But yeah, sleeper, Gibson, favorite to win it, Hellebuck.
All right, so this next segment, we're supposed to have
forgot the Rocket
for this, but we got to do it to free. We've seen the hockey guy do this. We've seen Colin Coward do this. We're going to have a city draft. And since we have an American here, I found it to be there'll be no Canadian bias, hopefully. What you're going to do here is we're split up the NHL. We're doing it, makes it more fun. 36 teams, not 32.
Ooh.
You're redrafting the league by city. So example, you have to pick each city for an NHL team.
Every city? We're not just adding 4 teams to the league?
No, you're redrafting the entire league.
Okay. Who else?
I just got a
Nordic holds the number 1 pick.
Hang on, let me just write this down.
So I can pick cities that are like current too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that are current or teams that cities that don't have a team.
We're going to randomly randomize so that we get our order.
Okay.
31, 32, 33, 34. All right, 36. I think we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. We each get to pick 12 cities.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And do we have to even them out?
What?
Do we have to even them out?
You can, but you can do whatever.
Okay.
But make it really, don't feel oh yeah, I want to put a team in Germany.
Can I put teams in Mexico?
Yeah, we're keeping this North America. So
Okay.
We're gonna have our guests go first, then we're gonna have Riley, then we're gonna have myself. And it is not a snake draft, so it's a regular draft.
First round pick. I'm just gonna say Houston. That's gonna be my first place to go.
All right.
Because from what you guys said on your podcast, up and coming city.
Yeah.
I think it would be good for
Yeah, I also want you guys to explain why you picked that place as well, like for what reasons. So
yeah.
Riley?
Winnipeg.
Bias.
Okay, what else is there to do in Winnipeg except go watch hockey?
Okay, I guess that's true. Good point.
Need I say more? As well as what else is there to do in Manitoba except go watch hockey?
True.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. With the third pick, the NHL selects Toronto. You gotta have a team in Toronto. It's
you got to
Canadian city.
The rule. All right, I'll go with New York then for my next pick. Right.
New York, New York Rangers, New York, or New York Islanders, New York.
New York Rangers, New York.
Yeah.
Honestly, both would work. So
Yeah. Biggest city in the States, it's.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with LA.
Los Angeles.
Yes. Staples Center is good real estate, as well as they're the second biggest city in the States.
Dylan will be very proud of that.
I'm picking Ottawa. They're an old-fashioned hockey. We are a hockey city. The attendance might not see it, but Ottawa is a hockey city. The 67s games sell out like that. Minor hockey sells. It's full arenas. Just the only reason people don't go to games in Ottawa is because of Melnick.
Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
So I'm gonna say all these teams have great management. So if Ottawa had great management, the arena would be full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah, standing room only type thing.
I'm picking Ottawa. So.
Okay.
Oh, I'm next. Sorry. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna get out of the way. I'm gonna go with Philly, because City of Brotherly Love. Technically, it's the first official city in America, but apparently the world doesn't like us, so they made that the DC. But
we should would have been the capital too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go with Montreal. C'est le but. Montreal's they're a great hockey city. I know you guys have your quarrels with their fans, James, but
yeah,
Montreal's a good city. Like, it's a great hockey city too.
Montreal's a nice city. I've been there multiple times. I love Montreal, the city. Montreal, the team, I don't like. That's the only issue.
It's over Caulfield.
Nope. Anyway, with the 9th pick, I'm gonna take Vancouver.
Yeah, that's a good way to go.
That's a good pick.
I'm gonna go, and this is an underrated answer since like a lot of other cities are on the board. I'm gonna go with Phoenix, because I think when they first relocated, when they were in Phoenix, they had great attendance. I'm sorry, Riley, but they had great attendance. Like, that was like the best years.
I'd only consider Phoenix if they got an arena like, where the Suns play. They play right downtown.
Yes,
they could move right into there. I think their attendance would go up.
Oh, absolutely. That's probably where they would go. I mean,
Yeah.
like, this isn't a conversation with that, but that's probably where I would go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Calgary. Calgary is good population. It's a hockey city. There's so much minor hockey there. The Calgary Hitmen sell at almost every game there, and they play at the Saddle Dome. They do need a new arena, but Calgary is a great hockey city.
Fun fact, Jake Sanderson grew up in Calgary.
Oh, here we go.
So that's why he's good. He's Alberta boy.
Yeah. Pick number 12. I am going to go Boston.
Okay.
I think you got to have Boston in there. Boston's a great sports city. They support any team you put in there. You got a bunch of NHL players who are from Boston as well. So you obviously know hockey thrives in Boston.
Mm-hmm. With my pick, I'm gonna go with Raleigh, North Carolina, because I know from having Canes fans that I'm good friends with, that is a very passionate place. And it may not seem like it, but it really is.
I always would say this, like how the Canes would be more of a draw. Like, it's when they were bad, when they were like not selling out.
Oh, they were bad.
More of a draw if they were in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would always say that, but I the attendance has gone back up. Winning cures everything.
Yeah, well, that was because they were just bad for that entire decade.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to be good for this entire decade.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I'm going to go Detroit. There's so many hockey players from Michigan, and from what I've heard, as well as what I've seen with the Joe Louis Arena, and when, they actually got a contending team, they got one of the best fan bases. They also got a dedicated fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great hockey state.
Yep.
And shout out to all my Michigan homies.
All right. 15th pick. I'm gonna go with the state of hockey, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's gonna be draft steal.
I'm gonna go with Chicago. I think Chicago is an underrated choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just said my pick.
Well, yeah, Chicago. Yeah. If you guys didn't pick that in the next two picks, I would have taken it.
Yeah, I was thinking Chicago, so thanks for that. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. As Pittsburgh supports all their teams, even the Pirates, which I've heard are drastically bad.
Yeah, they support the Pirates, support the Steelers very well, but the Steelers have been good for 20 years. So
yeah,
they've won like. Now my brother's a Steelers fan, so they've won like tons of Super Bowls. So.
Pittsburgh, when they're winning, has a great fan base because the Penguins almost got moved.
yes,
for Crosby.
Yep.
So,
all right. Pick number 18. I'm gonna go Mississauga.
oh, that's a off the norm.
Listen, Toronto has so many people. Like Toronto, I think they have it's like 8 million people. If 8 or 9 mil, that might be really wrong, but I can say, like the GTA has a lot of people, like a lot of people. So you put another team in there, you create a rivalry. You can have the Leafs can be like Toronto's team, and the other Mississauga team could be like the GTA's team.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can put a team there, and I think it would thrive. Toronto's a great hockey market.
By the way, when you said GTA, I immediately thought you were saying the game GTA.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, my brain went there too.
GTA is a Greater Toronto area.
Yeah.
I've the 6.
I'm gonna go with Washington because their fans are pretty passionate. Well, not Washington, State.
Like like DC.
Yeah, they're pretty passionate fans, and especially because they have one who thinks Ovechkin's better than Crosby.
Okay.
Riley?
Trying to think. Edmonton. You got to have the Battle of Alberta. Realistically, it's one of the best rivalries in the NHL. And Edmonton's a good hockey city.
Yeah. All right. With my next pick, I am actually going to go. I think here. This is harder than I thought. Shit.
I know. That's.
Yeah, it was actually striking me. I thought it would be easy.
I'm gonna say St. Louis.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Missouri.
Yep. Rivalry with Chicago, great hockey city, supports all their sports teams. Even the Rams, when they were bad, they supported them. Kroenke was a greedy.
You look around my room real quick.
Yeah, we're down to 5 picks left each.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Vegas. Did anyone say Vegas yet?
No one has said Vegas.
Surprisingly, their fans are actually pretty passionate.
Yeah.
And the NHL was so smart at being the first
to get in there. If Vegas wasn't as good now, I don't think it would be as successful.
That's true.
But
that's with every team.
Yeah, like they're fortunate that they came out of the gate lucky with this, because I know there were 2 teams that submitted their applications. One was Vegas, the other was Quebec City. Quebec City's didn't get rejected; they got put on hold, and then they gave Seattle a team. So they basically got rejected by getting put on hold.
Okay, I'm going for Milwaukee. They support the Packers really well. They support the Bucks as well as the Brewers. It's a great sports state. All their fans that are dedicated, and it's an untapped market.
Right.
Where's Milwaukee? Isn't that Georgia? Not Georgia. Wisconsin. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think.
You can make a rivalry there with Minnesota or Detroit.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with Quebec City.
Oh, damn it. I needed to do that because like my whole entire channel is based around the Nordiques.
Yeah.
Your name is based around the Nordiques.
Exactly.
Like, give Quebec their team back. Like, I mean, they had horrible ownership when they had it, and I think Quebec-Montreal rivalry would be perfect for the NHL.
Yeah.
Should make me the owner. I'll actually buy pizza for them. I'm gonna go with Smashville. Nashville.
Nashville? All right.
Son of a.
Pretty good place for hockey, actually. Pretty underrated.
Yeah, like that Smash car. I want to do that.
I do want to do that.
Or the Smash plane when they play the Jets.
Hey, I mean, that car would have been Ottawa.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay, well, Nordic, are you just living inside my head because you're taking all my picks?
Yeah. I took your old team, and now I'm taking all your picks.
Jerk. Frig. We're going to the Sunshine State. I think that's Florida. I think. Is that Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which area of Florida? Florida's a state, my guy.
Okay, well, Tampa.
Tampa, right?
No, Florida's a country.
They have their own breed of Americans there.
They honestly do. I've been to Florida.
If you're from Florida, we do not
Yeah,
discriminate.
Tampa's a good hockey market. Players actually want to play in Tampa. It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well, most hockey players are from cold areas, so for them to be able to play in nice heat is a refresher. As well as they have that state tax exemption or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really know what it is, so but it's an advantage. But yeah, Tampa's my pick.
I'm gonna go Dallas.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Dallas, rivalry of Houston. You know, you get the Battle of Texas.
Has anyone picked New Jersey yet?
No one has picked New Jersey.
All right. That's an underrated rivalry with Philly. They're up the turnpike.
Yeah. They have the name was like Battle of the Jersey Turnpike, something like that. Like I was on Wikipedia and it has its own rivalry name. When you have a rivalry name, you're a rivalry. You're a big rivalry. Like I don't care.
Nobody really talks about that one that much.
Yeah, so I guess both teams have been when Philly's good, New Jersey's bad, and when New Jersey's good, Philly's been bad.
That could change though. They could be good at the same time because they're both up and coming.
All right.
Wait, it's Riley's turn.
San Francisco.
Ooh.
They support the 49ers really well. And being right in Silicon Valley, the amount of tech things they could do in that arena would be pretty cool. So
well, the Sharks aren't technically San Francisco. They're San Jose, which is about maybe like 45 minutes up the coast.
yeah, it's close enough.
But yeah, you get San Francisco, you get that name recognition.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's my pick.
I want you to remember all these places are going to have good ownership. I'm going to Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So Arizona will be relevant. And Ottawa.
Yeah. I'm going to go to Atlanta because here's the thing. Both Atlanta teams had terrible ownership.
Yes.
Look at the Thrashers. When they first got there, they had great attendance.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I think it was like some guys bought the team and they just ruined them into the ground.
Yeah, Urinating Tree recently did a video on it.
Yeah, I think Atlanta, if Atlanta was gonna get another chance, I think if they had great ownership, I think it'd be good.
It would be awesome.
Yeah. All right, you each have 2 picks left.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Sacramento because Sacramento. I heard the Sacramento Kings are pretty bad. I might be wrong about that. I think they're a basketball team.
They are.
But I think having a team in Sacramento, it's California. California is, I think, the most populated state in the U.S. outside of New York.
Yeah.
So I think it would get attendance no matter where you went in California. Like if you wanted to go to Anaheim, San Jose, L.A., Sacramento, wherever, I think it would get good attendance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Riley, your pick?
Oh. Saskatoon, or one of the cities in Regina, for the reasons we stated on the first episode.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they love hockey up there, and I would honestly, it'd be like a Quebec City kind of thing where it's a small population, but like they love hockey. They would support hockey.
Because what else is there to do in Saskatchewan except watch the Rough Riders?
Oh,
and drink Pilsner beer, because that's made in Saskatchewan.
Oh, we should ask Max.
Oh. Okay. Anyways, James, your pick.
I'm going back to New York.
So like
all right.
New York,
like Queens, Long Island. New York can support 2 teams.
Yeah.
All right, Nordic, your last pick.
I'm gonna go to a city that nobody really knows about. Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I want to hear this. Why?
Why do you ask?
Yeah. Because
of A, Breaking Bad, and B, it's actually a small, it's actually a decently big city. I mean, Santa Fe might be a little bit bigger.
I would have gone with Santa Fe if I was going to New Mexico, but yeah. Anyway, that's Nordic's draft is over, and now we have Riley.
with the last pick in the 2021 NHL draft.
That's me.
The Rileys.
I last pick. You don't.
Well, this is my
It's
team.
his last pick.
Yes. The
NHL
are proud to select. Drumroll, please. I'm gonna go with a fan favorites, Hartford.
Oh, forgot about them.
I think they can support a team again if with great ownership and stuff like that, great management, and I think they can support a team and do well. And a rivalry with the Hurricanes.
Right, with the final pick in the draft, I am going to select Halifax.
Halifax. All right.
They support the Mooseheads very well. Eastern Canada has no representation.
Again, what is there to do there except fish?
So I'll tell you the teams that we left out that are no longer in the NHL. The Seattle Kraken don't have a team. Buffalo's out. The Ducks are out. Columbus. Damn, we forgot about Ohio. Damn, I would have said Cleveland because I think Cleveland's a much bigger city than Columbus.
This just shows why Ohio sucks.
But yeah,
I'm only gonna ask, can we name the Halifax team the Halifax Highlanders?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So we're not gonna name these teams. I'll work out something and I'll post it on my TikTok. Nordic's picks were Houston, New York, Manhattan, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Raleigh, Chicago, DC, Vegas, Nashville, New Jersey, Sacramento, and Albuquerque.
Good picks.
Riley's picks were Winnipeg, Los Angeles, Montreal, Calgary, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Edmonton, Milwaukee, Tampa, San Francisco, Saskatoon, and Hartford.
We're winning the cup.
And my picks were Toronto, Ottawa, Vancouver, Boston, Minneapolis, Mississauga, St. Louis, Quebec City, Dallas, Atlanta, New York, Queens, and Halifax. Yeah, I'll be sorting these into a TikTok and I'll be posting it later, probably later tomorrow or later today.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, for our ending, we're about to end it. We're just gonna ask Nordic a couple more one more question, and then we're going to end it here. Last question is the Coyotes situation with the lease. That's the last question we're going to ask you because I think it was the juiciest question. I think we want to ask you at the very end.
The arena.
Like what's your take on it? And what do you think is going to happen?
I don't think we relocate out of Arizona. I don't think so. If we have to relocate, Houston, I guess, because that's the closest. But they're in talks with Tempe, which is, I've never even heard of it, which is probably a bad sign. They could very well go back to Phoenix. And you know what? When this team is good again, which will probably be about like 5 or 6 years, we would get good attendance. And even when we were bad, we could probably get some decent attendance.
Yeah.
Or we could go to Arizona State University because I think they have a hockey arena.
It's in Tempe. Tempe's a college.
That's Tempe. All right. Well, yeah. I'm stupid then. But yeah, I think we either go to Tempe or we just go back to Phoenix because I don't think we leave Arizona.
Yeah, I can see you guys going to Tempe. I think that'd be a good move. I could see you guys going to Houston as well. I know there's been talks up here, at least. I know Quebec City is looking for their team back, and they may be interested in giving you guys the lease, but I don't think management doesn't want to do that. So I see you guys staying in Tempe. I really
not a chance. That screws the divisions up, and you guys talked about that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Anyway, Riley, anything else to add?
I'm good.
All right, Nordic, you can now plug whatever you like.
I mean, everything's in my name. YouTube channel's Nordic97, TikTok's Nordic97. I run a podcast, my own podcast with @Marcusi_, the Nordic and Mark podcast. That's basically it.
Yeah. Anyway, Nordic, thanks for coming on with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now, I would just like to shout out my brother's hot sauce company, Hold My Beer Hot Sauce. If you want some good fresh grown peppers and sauces, follow him on Instagram and message him.
No one wants your hot sauce. Anyway.
It's not mine, it's my brother's.
I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're
I
gonna end it here. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week with a football and or hockey episode. So we will see you guys then. Anyway, you guys take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we out.
Adios.